Welcome to the AR-15 podcast. This show is for you if you just bought your first rifle or you've been building them for years. There's something we can all do to take our black rifles to the next level. My name is Nick Dooley, and I am joined tonight by the Director of Propaganda, Joe.
Good evening.
So how are we doing tonight? I know that we do have Garth will be joining us. He's just doing things as normal on Garth time. So what do we know, Joe? Have you done anything fun with guns here in the past week or so?
I mean, we went out and did a little bit of shooting Monday, I think, on the holiday. Other than that, not a whole lot right now. I've got some time in on the Ace. I don't know, shot today's.
Yeah, I was very disappointed.
I didn't like that one as a daily because not everybody has room to do that.
Go ahead. Then I'll tell you my follies with today's Ace drill.
Well, one, it's freaking cold out, so I had to shoot in the basement, which isn't near as big as my garage. I shot it in the garage shortly after it came out, and it wasn't that bad. My problem with it was just trying to back up, and two, it's one of a handful of stages on there where I honestly don't know how you shoot it without breaking the 180. Like, I feel like I'm breaking the 180. It doesn't ding me for it, but it feels very, very close. Yeah.
So I got I definitely got hit with a you broke the 180 because I DQ'd because I reloaded, and as I reloaded, I hit it and then went to turn so I could hit. And when I turned, when I flipped my gun to the side, it said I broke the 180.
Yeah, today's I wasn't a fan of.
And then
it's stupid because, again, I don't have that much room in my basement, so I'm very cautious about the movements. In this way they score, like, yeah, I went slower because that's a slower one to shoot.
Yeah,
and then my season average went down, which pisses me off.
I backed up and tripped over some shit on the floor, a pair of boots, and fell on my ass, which was enjoyable, which then caused me to break the 180 again. And finally, the last one, my dog jumped up and bit for whatever reason, my border collie loves to jump at the Ace controller when I'm shooting. So I was like, yeah, can we mulligan today? This was ungood.
Yeah, it was not a fun one. I wasn't bad. I wasn't that far off my time. But then I spent some time afterwards trying to find a better way to shoot it, and I don't know if there is a good way to shoot that one.
No, it's dumb. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But Garth, did you do anything fun with guns in the last week or so?
No, man. I'm still just working on the gun room, trying to get all the optics on my guns and stuff, trying to find time to do it before I go to State Darts. So I won't be with you guys next Thursday.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, next Thursday we do have a guest coming on. We'll have somebody come on and talk about some manufacturing stuff they've been doing. So that will be a good time.
Perfect.
So Joe and I went out. Actually, I hit the range 4 days in a row this last weekend because it was a long weekend. Actually, I take that back. I was only out there 3 days. I Friday helped one of our buddies get some other stuff set up in the gun world, but it was all on the paperwork side, and helping him get some things rolling there for things that might come to fruition later for him, which is it's always fun. I love helping guys out when I can, and just going through some paperwork procedures that it's like, hey, this is what you need to do. Look out for this. And went through that. Then Saturday, I taught a class. It was a concealed carry class, but great turnout. Really good class. Had 20 people there. So nice, nice big class to bring in that year or bring in that.
I would
Then-
hope so. It was like 50 degrees warmer than it is right now.
Oh, it was gorgeous out. It was like 68 degrees when we were on the range. Like, legitimately could not have asked for a better day to be on the range. And then after that, Sunday, I went out to help another buddy out and did one of those. Oh, yeah, this will be like a 10-minute job when I went out with him, which turned into 2.5 hours on the range because naturally we were zeroing thermals and running, like, okay, yep, do this. And because of the interface for how you aim, or like how you adjust the zero, it gets really wonky really fast. But I had to remember how to do it with that particular brand. And then we moved to a different brand of thermal and did another one. So like had to like, okay, yep, this one's separate because it's backwards from this one. Okay. But one of those ones where you just cover you put the target in the center of the big target back and then just cover the whole thing with blank targets so you can see where you're hitting. And did that. Then I did get my Mediator XL zeroed on my PCC and got a little bit of time behind it, which was a blast. I know Monday, Joe and I went out and shot dope drills. And I really am I'm really gonna love that optic for
It is nice. I'm right now running it with just the dot. Shot all summer last year with the Huey with the donut on it, so I might.
I'm running the circle dot.
Yeah, after shooting that dope drill, I might go back to the circle dot and see how I like it.
All that complaining for weeks about the Gideon, and now you're going to go back to circle dot.
No, it's got adjustable dot. Like you can have whatever dot you want in it. I'm leaving the XL on, but I'm going to go away from the single dot to the circle dot.
So it's a Garth. It's a multi-reticle optic. That means that you can have it be a circle, circle dot, or just a dot.
If you would,
sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I thought he meant BDC.
No.
Shush.
All
right, that's fair.
I've been running it on the with the circle dot as well, and I've really become more and more of a fan of it on a long gun.
Dr. Scary Guy just said that. I agree exactly with that right now.
Yep. I think for some reason I like the circle dot on a rifle and hate it on a pistol. And
I think I don't know. I don't know why, but I agree with that statement.
I am trying circle dot on handguns right now with some multi-reticle stuff, and just to see if I like it, because I can see the benefit of it, especially when like shooting at plates, because you just cover the whole plate. It's like, all right, yep, we're good to go, and go faster.
That also really varies on how the distance of the plate.
Yep.
So.
I have a circle dot on my SIG X Legion, and I am a huge fan. So, yeah, I for me, especially what Nick said about just covering the whole plate, and then you're solid to go. So, and again, it does depend on distance, but if you're running PCC and stuff, and most targets are 15 to 20 yards, you're fairly well covered. So,
I like it on the PCC mainly because the circle is supposed to help clean up that inner dot if you have the astigmatism.
Yep.
When I first put it on and didn't like it, I think it might have been more the brightness setting that I was on, because that astigmatism and how stuff looks in my basement with like no light as opposed to bright sunlight like we had this weekend is a whole different thing.
Yeah, and like I know I left mine on that and debated taking the kill flash off the Mediator XL, but I'm not sure if I'm going to or not yet. Like it's not so much that I'm like, oh man, kill flash because tactical, and I'm worried about my reflection giving me away to somebody else, but because in the bright sunlight it made it not as glary.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Which
especially
was-
like we were out there later in the afternoon, and in our range, if you're out there within that hour before sundown, it's horrible with the sun over the backdrop. But
Yeah, it makes it
Or the
very
backstop.
difficult to see. But yeah, I did that. So I did a little PCC work, did a little rifle work, and obviously taught a handgun class. So I had kind of a full weekend of doing gun stuff, and that is exciting. I think I might have picked my first multi-gun match of the year to shoot, so I can actually go out and shoot rifle a little bit that isn't in 9mm and do stuff like that. So
Where is that going to be?
that'll be in
Rapid
Rapid.
City.
Okay.
Is that the PCSL one, or is that?
Yeah, that'd be the PCSL one in March. Just because all the other ones they had scheduled, I am going to be bouncing around the country doing trainings for guards. Starting here in a week or so, I will be starting to gear up to move hard into all the units requesting training around the country. So I'll still be able to do all this, but I'll be bouncing around to work with people kind of all over. So getting into my heavy training for a couple months here, and yeah. So good times with that. No, I'm not coming back to Georgia. Everything I'm doing will mostly be in our state or one or two excursions into some bordering ones. But that's just to go with them to ranges. So Garth, you said you did not do anything fun this week.
No, I'm still trying to get situated back into regular life, which in 4 days will not happen again. So, man, hopefully someday I have a cool range story like you do, Nick. I need to get back to the range bad, but
if only you went to work somewhere that you like had done something like build a range that was like mere yards away.
I'd have to go to work first.
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched what says Everdo KY, and I'm assuming it means Kentucky. And
I hope so.
I have done many a training in Kentucky in years past, but we'll probably not be headed there anytime in the near future again.
I don't think they have any big matches either that I can think of on a national level to run down there for. Though there's a few shooters, few instructors, I guess, if they were in the area, it might be fun to hit up a class and then hit the Bourbon Trail.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I'm going to hit the Bourbon Trail again someday. That is a ton of fun. So, as we go through, I know that we've talked a little bit about competition and stuff like that. Garth keeps saying that he's preparing to prepare to get ready for stuff.
Preparing to prepare. Yes.
Joe, you and I both have kind of been practicing a little bit here and there, kind of getting ready. As we look forward, what are you guys kind of thinking for I know every year we kind of do a little bit of a conversation on like getting ready for the shooting season. And I know that it's mid to late February, depending upon how you want to look at it. But in reality, a lot of places in the country, like shooting season's gonna be coming in pretty strong here, relatively close. And I mean, even for us, where we've had a mild winter, so I've been able to get out and shoot pretty much whenever I wanted to. It is. What are you guys kind of doing to get stuff prepped up and ready to go for the shooting season? Dusty here in the comments shot his second pistol match the other day and want to do some rifle comps too. Yes, I love shooting rifle competitions. Like that's really my jam, more so even than just doing pistol. I'm definitely more of a carbine guy than a pistol guy, but I have more opportunities to shoot pistols in competition, so that's what I do.
Well, I think it's a lot harder to find standalone pistol or standalone rifle matches unless you're looking at like a PCC class. If you consider like the multi-gun or the 3-gun type stuff as your rifle, but yeah, it's a lot more fun. I think it's more just because the ranges are usually built not for that sort of thing, unless you're looking at the newer ones that are building, the giant stuff like we built out in Rapid City. But they're fun. Anything you get into is addicting. Yeah, two gun is a good entry. Because everybody's afraid of the shotgun, which I like as a separator. Because it doesn't take that much work to get into shooting a shotgun.
No.
And yet nobody wants. It's like the low-hanging fruit. If you're at like 50%, classing it like 50% with a shotgun, but you're at like 80 or 90 with your other two, nobody wants to take the easy work and just get that up to like 70. Just put a little bit of work in with a shotgun and get that much better, and all of a sudden you're beating everybody else. And
you will not win a competition with a shotgun, but you will sure shit lose
bullshit.
it. You will sure lose it with a shotgun.
No, I disagree with that statement. I think it's the dumbest statement in the world, because the weakest spot everybody has is with their shotgun. If you can make that your best and you can shoot just as well with everything else, it'll set you apart. It's the easiest one. For most people, it's the easiest one to make a huge jump in because they're so weak in it.
And where most people get weak in shotgun is typically with loading.
Correct.
And, well, there is a little bit of accuracy, too, because people think it's just a room broom and will go wherever.
Yeah.
And then there are people who get afraid of, like, degloving thumbs or something like that. But
pick me.
But no, I kind of agree with Joe. Like, I've sat here and worked, loading a shotgun and just taking the barrel off. So I just had my mag tube on. So I was just more or less able to load it uninhibited and just practice loading off my belt with dummy shells until my fingers bled. Yep. And just kept going with that, and like just made over the weekend, I was like, hey, if I'm watching TV instead of just sitting here, sitting on my ass watching TV, I would pull that out and just start chucking rounds in with it on my shoulder and then pick it up and keep going back to it. It's kind of like dry fire. Like I'll dry fire while watching TV and do those types of things. It was almost the exact same setup where I would, what happens if you pull the trigger with no barrel in? Well, as long as you don't chamber around, you are okay, because generally it just goes. But this was always just about loading, so keeping the barrel off, keeping the so that your rounds will just flow out the end of the mag tube.
And Nick and I we just spent a half hour one day where we took his reloader with a whole bunch of empty shells and left the spent primer in them, didn't powder them, put the wad and the shot in. So even if you can pull the trigger all day long and nothing's going to happen for the ones the dummies that we made.
Yep. We made dummy rounds.
It is nice because you can just load off the belt. I do it. I do pull the trigger because I'll load. I've practiced weak hand and strong hand, and then make your loads and then come up and get on target and pull the trigger, because that's the next part of, could I know I can still be faster on my reloads, but I also got to a point where I'm like, all right, this is comfortable. This is getting smooth. Let's add this next part in while pushing it, because that's going to be the next part. It's getting back up to shoulder.
Yeah. And this year, I'm going to be playing a whole new game with some of the rules they have, because like zombies, and I have to look, 'cause I think even multi-gun nationals and hard as hell they kind of changed some of the rules and did away with tac ops for 3-gun. And they just went to modified class now.
Forest Lake started that with the modified class, where it's basically a tac ops class, but you can run a dot on the shotgun.
Yep.
And it was before they started running nationals, USPSA multi-gun nationals there. They were running that Kirkwold Memorial, and that was their biggest class, because everybody's like, ooh, it's still a tube-fed shotgun, but you can run the dot on it. So you can run dot on all three of your firearms.
So I have an 18-inch gun now or an 18.5-inch, shotgun that has a dot mounted to it now, and I'm going to start practicing with that a little bit and see how I like having that dot on the shotgun. And if I've decided that yes, this is the way, I'll chuck my 3-gun shotgun up in the mill and get it tapped for a shotgun, or for a dot rather, and then
I want to shoot that. I want to see. My biggest thing right now, going to a dot on my shotgun, like taking my 3-gun shotgun in and having it tapped and putting a rail on it. I grew up shooting with a bead, and that's how I am comfortable with a shotgun.
Yeah.
So what is that adjustment going to look like for myself? A lot of people are doing it. I get that. I just need to know, is it a transition that I can make, and am I going to be comfortable with it? Because,
well, the good thing is I have one now.
I know. That's what I said. I want to go shoot that one just to see how I feel with it.
Well, and that's kind of the same boat I'm in, where I'm more doing I was walking through our local runnings and saw they had a rail for a 930 on sale for $9. A Weaver, it was a Weaver pick rail, and I went, ooh, there we go. And at $9, I went, I will put this on, and then we can make adjustments and see if we like it or not.
Just to interject for a second, if you are scared about pulling the trigger when you're loading shotgun shells, for $21 on Amazon, you can get a 12-pack of dummy round shotgun shells.
You can reload them for about 20 cents. Yeah. If you got somebody here know any trap shooters, go talk to them, but they'll load you up real cheap.
Well, just saying, for those who don't.
Yeah, I also have some of the snap caps, and they're solid as well. Let's see here. Just looking at the chat. Dusky says dots and shots are life. Klecker says he wants to acquire a Stoeger M3K for any 3-gun matches, but wants to stick to 2-gun. And they have the Trijicon 2-gun series that he wants to try and shoot at least 3 of the 5.
That Stoeger MK3 is supposed to be like one of the best introductory or beginner shotguns to getting into it for price and everything that they have already on it.
Isn't that what you have?
No, the MK3 is the totally loaded out one, I believe.
Oh, okay.
They have their actual 3K or their 3-gun. Mine, I believe the one I have is actually the 2000 that the guys we bought them from sent in to Taryn, I think.
Yeah, and I have a Franke, which is the in between the Stoeger and Benelli for the Benelli M2 or the Stoeger M3000. Same platform or operating system, whatever. Parts are interchangeable. And I have one of those that I before I had a mill, went through and used a Dremel and cut everything open and opened the ports and did all the things so that I could run it more effectively as a 3-gun shotgun. 14+1 tube on that one versus the 9+1 on my other ones, and it is a ton of fun to do that. Although with a full tube, that thing gets awful heavy. I will. What's that?
I said they do.
Like that is yes. I will say that definitely gets heavy and really starts to be not quite a bear to control, because when you're coming up to get on target, it's not that bad. But when you're handling it, you really notice that you want more grip. And speaking of grips, if you want good grips, you should look at VZ grips, because the unique feature of VZ grips is they're machined from a solid block of G10. And G10 is great because it's durable and doesn't get slippery when covered with mud, blood, or sweat. 17-degree grip angle and wide variety of textures from mild to extreme, as well as color options, and shorty versions are also available. 1911 grips with extreme customizability, standard slim palm cells, thumb notches, safety cuts, bottom profiles, and more. More than 25 textures and 27 colors are available. There's one coupon code that is good for 15% off all handgun and rifle grips, and that code is AR-15 POD15. Yeah. So Clicker in the comments says he knows guys that ran 870s and 500s and can work the pump just as fast as a semi. I too know guys locally that can run an 870 or something like that as fast as a semi, or even as fast as some of the guys running over unders, and they have a lot of time behind those guns.
Till you start short stroking.
I was gonna say there may have been a time when I would have counted myself among that, but I am not there anymore, because I have not shot my pump gun a lot. I mean, I still take it out hunting and stuff like that, and I do have a tube on it in case I ever decide to do 3-man or a 3-gun He-Man 3-gun. Where I have.
I understand you can run it that fast, but you look at some of the round counts at some of these matches. Running that thing 200 to 300 times a day, if you start figuring in some losses or some mics, the makeup shots, I feel like your arm is going to wear out a lot faster. Like, I'm sure you can do it through a mag. At the end of stage 12, can you still run that pump as fast as the auto?
Yeah,
a lot of work in to do that.
When I was younger, probably because I practiced that a lot more.
Not with the shotgun.
Oh, Lord.
I see that John in the chat there says that something along the same lines, but no. Is there anything else you guys are kind of doing to prep for shooting and training season? I know that it's not just somebody's talking about a magnetic buffer system. That must have been the one we were talking about when we had Fry Tech on
last week.
But, yep. He had the invention years ago. So good for you.
Footwork, man. That's one thing I don't have to have a gun in my hand for, and that's just movement. Better movement is just trusting shots and relying and moving on that. You know, man, I find myself lining up on one target too much and not migrating to a spot where I can shoot multiple targets, and just positioning and making my feet faster, which sounds kind of dumb, but it'll shave seconds off. And a stage when you run 17 seconds, you think you did great, and then you watch a little 19-year-old girl run it in 12, you go, wow, I suck at this. So
yep. That is a true. And I know that, aside from doing footwork and kind of trying to get back in shape and get some of the winter weight off of me, one of the other things that I know I do, because like I know that we talk a lot about competition and stuff like that, but I focus on training as well outside of just competition, because it's, like I said, I'm getting back heavy into my training season where, I'll be on the range working with a bunch of people and doing a bunch of that stuff where now's the time of year where I start going through, looking at my kit, getting everything set up. And get those things more or less in line, but I'm checking to make sure all my gear doesn't have any major problems with it last year, that I have anything that I need to replace. Checking, make sure that screws are still tight, Loctiting stuff on range belts and stuff like that, because I want to make sure that things like my Clucker Tactical Kydex holster stay connected to my belt. And if you're in need of a reliable custom Kydex holster, Clucker Tactical is your one-stop shop using premium USA source materials. Clucker Tactical will build you a holster in a variety of styles and colors, along with light and laser options. Whether you're in law enforcement, a competitive shooter, or an everyday gun enthusiast, Trusted Clucker Tactical will provide everyday firearm owner has access to top-tier and personalized holsters, as well as quality custom products you can't find anywhere else. Use code AR-15 podcast for 10% off at cluckertactical.com. But no, that is something that I definitely it was last year I started to do that, specifically on my battle belt, was on holsters and things of that nature, was hit them with a little Loctite. Like I'd back stuff off, hit it with Loctite, and then roll it back up to snug it again, and kind of at the beginning of the season. Just because as I start to get movement and use and wear on things, those come loose a little bit, and that don't want, like my leg strap coming off in the middle where I just have a garter.
Nothing will screw you over more than equipment malfunctions like that. I've watched too many guys run, a course of fire and go to find that magazine. It's not there because it's 10 yards behind them. True story.
And that's just where I'm like, no, now's the time of year to start looking at that, because it might be in shooting season where you guys are, but it never hurts to kind of take a break, even if it's around the first of the year, kind of before really things start picking up, to go through your range belt, go through, chest rigs and things of that nature, whatever it is that you're running, and just make sure that, yep, you have stuff that's still good to go. I mean, I've done that where, okay, I put stuff away, like on my helmet for night vision stuff. I noticed that it's like, okay, yep, went through and pulled it out to test the other day, because the Mediator XL also has night vision settings, which is cool for running passive. If you are a night vision guy, and so you can actually aim through your Mediator XL. But
it never hurts to sit down and inventory where you're at on stuff, because right now, like last year, I could have told you down to the probably 100th round how much I was sitting on and when I was needing more. With the sporadic shooting I've done this over the winter, I need to sit down, look at that. I need to sit down, line up all my mags, just basically inventory what I've got, double check everything, look at anything that looks bad, especially those 30 round or those big sticks that I've got that I shot the crap out of last year. See if they look like they need to be swapped out. I was digging around earlier a couple weeks ago for something, and I found a 30-round Glock mag in my camera bag. I'm like, what in the heck? So I was running around short one of them all year, but before you get started, you got to know where you're at again, and it's not a bad idea to look at how old you think some of your stuff is and start maybe replacing some stuff here or there, because you definitely don't want, like you, Nick, last year was, right after we got back from zombies, when that mag dumped or crapped out on you. But better at our local match than something you paid good money on.
Yeah. Dr. Scary Guy says something in this. He asked if the AIM surplus AR-15 M16 223 nitride 9310 MPI bolt carrier group is any good. I have one of those, and I've not had any issues, and I have a rather high round count on it. So I would say, yeah, they're solid. And the guys at AIM Surplus are good dudes. So, and then I'm not sure how to say that name. It's Cadence Condracula. Do you think we're going to see making of pistol stroke recoil system for the AR-15 having a platform having an uprising. And I think what he's talking about is piston and like short stroke pistons. And I am not sure. Short stroke piston systems adapted to ARs do not generally operate well because of running to do it right, you have to change some things because just making the adapter kits don't work that well. You need to do something like the HK416 where you run a larger rail that's top and it's a kind of a standalone system. POF on some of their piston guns did that as well. You see a lot of them come around for a little bit and then they go away. Like the Ruger SR series that a lot of people were like, yep, I love this gun. It was great. I had it. And they ended up having some problems with op rods. Everybody who's made a short stroke piston driven AR-15 has ran into problems. And there may be ways around it. Like you see changing up the entire operating system, like how the PSA Jackal did it. And I'm interested to see how the new Jackal with the short stroke works, because I didn't get an opportunity they wouldn't let me pop up their prototype apart to take a look at the insides for some reason. But
did they think you were did they think you were one of the Chinese guys walking around scanning everything?
No, I'm not even going to say I doubt it was a firing prototype that they had there. So it might not have had everything done on the inside. But again, that has its own receiver. Like they changed everything up about it. It pretty much is a new type of gun that takes AR fire control groups. Getting into some of those piston systems is very good on some levels. I always love to see innovation be drove forward, but it has its own inherent issues trying to change it up into the DI system that exists, because that operating system, to keep all of the form factors across the board, you run into some definite issues with parts breakage and compatibility. And yeah, there might be some materials that are coming out with now that, oh, this wood works better and gets stronger when it gets pressure on it, but op rods still break and they still have problems. There may be a time someday, but probably not anytime in the near future. I'm sorry, I blacked out for a second. What was that?
Yeah, sounds all right. Sorry.
But no, back to kind of getting prepped for the gear, like you were saying, Joe. Now we're okay. Where am I sitting at on ammo and stuff? And I have no idea. As far as, I'm going to say this again, and no affiliation with them whatsoever. Like if you guys are looking to run PCC and looking for cheap Glock platform megs, the KCI megs, I ran them all year last year, and the one that I had go bad, I don't even think that was a KCI. I think that may have been a different one, or if it was, it was still if it was a KCI, I remember I looked at it, was like, yep, that one died, and I just threw it in the dumpster. And some of the people at our local club went, you just threw away a mag?
Yeah, well, if you have enough, like you say, in generational wealth, then it's okay. I just bought 50 of them, and they're fantastic magazines. So,
did you buy the Glock mags?
No, oh, sorry, I was talking the 5.56 ones.
Yeah, I was talking about their 33 round mags.
I have a couple of the 33 round mags. I've used them, and they're also solid magazines. So,
yeah, I had one of those go bad on me last year, and it was after we shot zombies. So I mean, I think I was even at the end of the season for us, wasn't it, Joe?
No, it was right after zombies. Well, it might have been because we didn't really shoot a whole lot locally after that, but I thought it was like July-ish, maybe at the latest. I thought it was like the week right after. because we came home and had a match, didn't we? I thought it was the match directly after, but I could be
It
wrong.
may have been, but and I know that we did run it there, and I kind of ran the same 2 or 3 megs the whole time, and just went bad. And I was like, "Yep, that was bad." And chucked it and grabbed the next one, and went right back to work. ETS megs, I would steer clear of. I've never had good luck with an ETS meg. The KCI megs are good, I will say.
Are you still working on getting them on the show?
Yeah, still talking to them. I watched what says, speaking of megs, the ARs are almost finished for my younger cousins. Do you think 5 megs each is enough to get them started? And yes, that is a decent start.
I mean, it's an adequate start.
It is more megs than I started with when I got my first AR.
Yeah.
Because when I started, I had 1. And it was the one that came with the gun. And now I have more. Yeah, 6, says Dusky. We'll say 6.
Yeah, we'll go 6.
I legitimately don't know how many I have, so I can say that I don't know the answer to that question.
I do, only because I went through and reorganized my magazine count the other day, and so I counted, and it's not as much as you, Nick, but it's more than some people listen to our show. I'll say that. There's an in-between.
Oh, good, because I don't know how many I have.
I know. I believe that.
Yeah, and so the older KCI stuff was, like, they had a little bit of a problem back in the day. I will admit, and I've told them that, and they've said, yep, they did. All of their newer generation stuff is solid, and I would 100% inherently trust them. And yeah, it's a good thing to have, and more megs is always more better. But like we were talking, now is the great time of year to kind of look at. Also, here, this is your PSA for the year. If you have not done so yet, put new batteries in your optics. So,
Yeah.
like, I am
100% agree.
I am fortunate enough to where I have an August birthday, so I put batteries in my optics on my birthday. And, 6 months later, which is my daughter's birthday or thereabouts. So it's like, oh, hey, yep, time to put new optics or two new batteries in the optics, because there's nothing worse than being at a match and, like, all of a sudden your optic goes dead because you forgot to put a battery in it. See, did everyone lock up, or did I lose internet, or did they?
No, you're good.
Oh no, no.
I was reading something. I was reading Dusky. I want to know where he's buying cigars and magazines at the same place, because that sounds like a place I want to go hang out.
That sounds like a pretty solid deal. But yeah, it's optics. They're changing lights and or changing batteries, and optics and lights is definitely a big thing to do.
Yeah.
So, Joe, you said you were in agreement with that.
I mean, I don't change them out 6 months. I'm good for maybe at a year, but I make sure, like, part of my packing bag is, or my range bag is, extra batteries. It's just, they're there. I know what I run, and they just stay in my range bags. Like, there's probably an extra battery for everything I have in each range bag.
And the stuff that I change the batteries out in every 6 months,
every day, or the ED or your carry stuff.
Yeah, like that's
the stuff that, hey, it's a shake away, but when I'm driving it down the highway, it's on because I'm bouncing down the road. No, those, yeah, them, yeah, that one, the I actually write the dates down in them, like when I get them, like right on the
Yep.
battery, so I know how long it's been in there. That also gives you an idea if you got a bad batch of batteries or if you've got a bad brand of batteries. Just making sure, because if they run out before that, you're
As a guy who's watched many people lose their battery at competitions, I just change them out before I go start shooting in the year, because there is nothing worse than that.
Yeah, and I too carry spare batteries for pretty much everything I have. That's one of the things I was most excited about with the Mediator XL was that it uses a CR123.
yeah.
Um,
I like those over the watch batteries, but
so do I, and they have a ridiculously long runtime on them.
but I get it. Like when you have like the Huey has that, some of the aim point, like our M5 Comp M5s and the Guard have those. But when you're putting on like a regular pistol optic, you just don't have the real estate to put anything other than a
Well, and like
watch battery.
anything of the aim point T2 footprint,
Yeah.
these little ones run on the same battery as well. And they're all 2032s, which is a fine battery, and they do last a long time. But I still just prefer the big Chungus, because while I do have plenty of 2032s and I carry them in my range bag as well, I carry spare CR123s for flashlights and night vision and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So it just makes it easier to go, okay, yep, this will work with this kit, and I just run it across. And
carry, if you're gonna do the extra battery, carry one for every optic. Didn't be like, oh, I have 3 optics, they all run on the same one. I'm gonna bring one battery, because know damn well if one goes dead, they're all going dead at the same time just because of Murphy's Law.
Yeah. And that is a fact. Like I just buy the strips of them and like, okay, yep, this is from Amazon, and I throw it in.
I do the same.
My Redfield on my 22 has a weird one. And I swore up and down I ordered. Oh, I know I did order like a strip, like the blister packs of it.
Yep.
I couldn't find them for the life of me, so I had to order more. And then I was digging around in something, and I'm like, oh, hey, I knew I ordered a bunch of these.
I have done that before too, where I find a random bulk pack of batteries. I'm like, oh hey, what was that? That seemed odd.
Like I said, I found a random Glock mag in a camera bag. I don't know. I mean, that's just, again, it's a good thing to be like, at some point, I know we talked about it late last year, like the after season stuff, like you start organizing, but it's always good to reorganize some of your stuff and look in those other places, and you're like, oh, hey, forgot I had these.
Yeah, the things I have found randomly where I'm like, what is that? Is definitely a thing. Just because I get confused on going, I'm not even sure what it is I have. But we've all been there before, right? Where we go, oh yeah, I have never just found a rifle that I forgot I had.
Not a rifle, pistol for sure, yeah.
Well, guys, as we start winding down here, anything else you want to add tonight?
Joe?
No, not off the top of my head. Nothing I can think of.
Oh, I have a few things. So go ahead, Joe, if you got anything at all.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, guys, as you know, we're still trying to we're still trying to get our hats out there. So if you have not purchased a hat yet, please email us at AR-15 podcast 2.0 at gmail.com, because that's the only way you get entered in to possibly win an AR-15 by High Point. Our deal is going to end on the 5th of March, and then we will go further with it. Right now, we've got a handful of hats ready to ship out. So I definitely want to see a couple more.
Do you have those so they can actually see them?
No, not yet, because I'm not that cool. But the list is uptown. So that's a start. Got to get it done before they shut down, because I learned my hat distributor is going out of business on the 1st of June, which I'm sad about. But in the meantime, if you're not going to buy a hat from us, definitely go check out Patriot Patch, patriotpatch.co for all your patch needs. Guys, they have the Patch of the Month Club. It costs $15. I know because I looked it up tonight. So go check out Jake and all those guys at Patriot Patch, patriotpatch.co. Get your patch of the month. Go buy a cleaning mat. I use my mouth pad. Nick uses the same thing. I think Joe has one. If he doesn't, he should get one. But go check out Patriot Patch, patriotpatch.co.
It's $20 after taxes and shipping.
It says 15 on the website, man. I'm just going off the website.
It's $15 plus taxes and shipping. I guarantee you check your statement. It's $20.
I'd have to look.
Yes. No other stuff going on. I know that this weekend, if you want to listen to me blather on elsewhere about things, I'll be on with Tundra Tactical doing their live stream this weekend. So we'll be doing some of that, and they've wanted to come on here before. And Dusky in the chat is saying $20 is $20.
It is.
Since Form 1s are free, Dirt Racer says, should I take my found in a wall shotgun down to the mag tube? It's a 500 knockoff. Yes.
Always yes.
Do not ask us, because we are the biggest enablers on the planet when it comes to gun stuff.
I don't know why the $200 tax thing was stopping you.
Yeah, well, now you have no tax stamp.
I know, that's what I mean, but why was it stopping you before?
Yep. I watched what says that I hate the ATF at the moment. Still haven't gotten any of his Form 1s back. I've submitted requests for status on Monday, but hasn't received anything back yet. I know that if you want to find out more about I Watched What saga of Form 1, come check out our Discord. Join us on Discord to look there, and you will find all sorts of interesting information, deals posted, build information, and any terrible advice you may want to have or give.
There's plenty of that going around on Discord. It's fun.
Well, guys, I think we're kind of hit everything we needed to tonight. If you don't have anything else, you said you had nothing else to add tonight, Joe?
No, I'm good tonight.
Dirt Racer says, join the Discord. It's kind of funny the trouble he's having. Garth, any other wise words of wisdom from you?
Wise words of wisdom? No wise words. Plenty of words, but I'll keep those to myself. So,
yay! Just kidding. No, guys, this is the point where we come to. It is. It's definitely a very interesting time to be alive. We live in interesting times. If you look at what's going on in the world, it's not always a safe place to be. So, guys, go out, get training, get medical training. Realize that you are your own first responder, and no one is coming to save you. And with that, you folks out there, stay safe and stay armed.